Hello, welcome to the Very Curious Place. I did some articles way back when for the Facebook page and the blog, and I did them over different subjects, and one of the subjects I did an article on, or two, I can't remember, was online dating sites. I found the subject interesting, so I was trying to come up with different ideas for videos, and one of them I came up with was dating apps. It seems to be one of those things that a lot of people are interested in these days. Not me, mind you, but a lot of people are interested in them. So I thought, let's look into them and see what we do. So I was going to pick out two sites, and, move on from there. Use them for a couple of weeks and then, do this video. Well, it didn't quite work out that way. Let me explain. The first site I picked out was called Coffee Meets Bagel. I had never heard of it before, but it was one of the first ones that came up when I put in dating apps. So I thought, it's a cute little thing. I like coffee, I like bagels, what the hell, we'll try it. So, downloaded the app, started doing all my profile stuff, and I didn't care for it, honestly. Here's the problem with the Coffee Meets Bagel. The app is very annoying when you're setting it up, and this is just setting it up. I would go to narrow down your options, by age range, so on and so forth. And every time I would try and change something, a little thing would come up and say, wait, you're narrowing down your options. You don't want to do that, or are you sure you want to do that, And it was like, yes, or I wouldn't be doing it, so. And it basically did that on everyone. Add to that, I wanted to hook them up through my cell phone number. I have my personal Facebook, and as I've said before, I don't like to add my personal Facebook in with my different stuff from A Very Curious Place. It's not my idea. I don't like it. It bugs me. So, I didn't want to hook it in with my Facebook, but there was no other option. So I said, well, okay, fine. I will hook it in with the Facebook. So I did that, and then I tried to upload the pictures I was going to upload. I chose two pictures. Let's just say they were a tad bit artistic. It's a nice way of saying photoshopped. Just a teensy bit. So I did that, and everything I thought was going well until I went and looked back at the profile to go over it and check it. And then I realized that it had gone into my Facebook and pulled a bunch of photos to put into the profile. And I was like, no. We're not putting my family pictures onto the profile. It's just not going to happen. I was very bothered by that. So I said, well, I'm going to finish the profile, and then I'm going to go back and delete those pictures. Okay, so I finished the profile, went back, tried to delete the pictures. It would not let me delete them. It acted like it was trying to delete them, but then it would say unable to delete. And I did this over and over again. I tried every picture. Would not let me delete any of them. So finally, I just said, after fighting with it over and over again, I said, you know what? No, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not going to put a profile online that has like pictures of my father on it, or other family members. We're just not doing that. So I deleted the profile, and then I deleted the app off the phone. Well, then I get an email from Coffee Meets Bagel. Congratulations, your profile is up online. Excuse me? No. So I sent them an email back, and I said, no, I deleted that profile because it screwed up. I told them how. I said, so if it's online right now, I said, you damn well better delete it. And So then I waited, and I got an email back a little bit later. We're very sorry for the inconvenience. Your profile has been deleted. If you go back into the app, you will have to start all over again. Well, that's fine, because I have no intention of going anywhere near the app again. So, that basically put an end to Coffee Meets Bagel. So I'm like, okay, well, I already knew that one of the apps I was going to use was Tinder, because that's one of like the most popular ones around. So I said, well, I need a second one other than Tinder. So I started looking through the other apps, and I found one that sounded familiar. I'd heard of it before, Bumble. Okay, now Bumble isn't just a dating site. It's also to meet friends and also for work networking with your business. So I thought, well, this one is good. I don't particularly want to use it for the friends or the dating, but I wouldn't mind using it for the work part. So I thought, even if, after this, is all done, I may keep it if it works well enough to use it for the networking part of it. So, got in there, got everything set up. It worked fine, till that point. Got everything set up, and that was all good. And then started, paging through it. And I decided to start with the dating, because that's what this video is about, the dating sites. Well, then I realized that something's not quite right with Bumble, because after I swiped through for about 6-10 pictures, a little screen popped up and said, wait, show everybody what you look like. Upload a picture. I already did that. I uploaded 2. So I said, well, and it wouldn't go away. I had to upload a picture, because it would not go away otherwise. Sorry about that. It would not go away unless I uploaded a picture. So I went back in and I uploaded one of the ones that I had already uploaded. And then it went away. It was fine. Well, a few more swipes later, same thing. Tell people what you look like. Upload a picture. So I went ahead and did it. Okay, I did this about 10-12 times. When I went back and checked the profile, expecting to see, 12-13 pictures, because I uploaded 2 the first time, and then 1 every time after that. Expect to see a lot of the same pictures over and over again. Well, no, there wasn't. What there was 3 pictures. 3. 2 of the same, and then 1. Now, I don't know what happened to the other pictures, and I don't care. But that kind of cinched what I was going to do with Bumble, because it wouldn't stop doing it. And, I didn't feel like going through with tech support and all this stuff. So I just said, you know what? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'm done. Deleted the profile, deleted the app. We're done. Started with Tinder. Okay. Everything was fine with Tinder, with, getting the profile set up, so on and so forth. And the only problem I had was when it came time to use the app, because with the other 2 apps, there was an instruction type thing, do this to do that, so on and so forth. But with Tinder, there was no instructions at all. I mean, none. And I know everybody's probably going to say, well, everybody knows how to use Tinder. Well, I didn't. I mean, I'd only ever seen people like on TV shows and movies and, Yahoo, YouTube videos. I know, what's a Yahoo video? Anyway, YouTube videos. I'd only seen them use it, like in passing. No one I know personally has ever used Tinder, at least not near me. So I was unaware of what the exact specifics of this were. So, okay. I decide I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go through this, and we'll figure it out as we go. So, I go ahead and I pull this I'm pulling up the app, but I decided that since I didn't want to do something wrong, I put in a search to find out how it works. How you swipe this, how you swipe that, what the little buttons are for. So I pulled it up on Google, pulled up like a brief explanation of how it worked. So I said, okay, well that works. I know enough to get by. So after that, I closed that down, went back into Tinder and started using it. Now, I will say this. Tinder is very easy to use once you know kind of what you're doing. The problem with Tinder is that there's a lot of stuff that you think is free until you want to do it, and then you find out that wasn't free. There's a charge for that. Oh, and I left those boxes out of the house and it's raining. Never mind. I know, completely off topic subject. But anyway, so yeah, just like if you swipe the wrong way on someone and you want to reverse it, well, you can only do that if you pay a monthly fee. So if you don't want to pay a monthly fee, you can't do reverse. Not only that, but the only people you actually see after you swipe them are the ones that you get matched with. Okay? So if you match with someone, meaning they like you, you like them, then you get to see them, you get to chat with them. But if someone just likes you and you don't like them, you can't see who it is that likes you. So it'll show you in a little section of you've been liked by you have so many likes. But it doesn't actually let you see the people unless you pay a monthly fee. Okay, and therein is the catch. There's a lot of this stuff that, sorry, itch. There's a lot of this stuff that you would try and do, but you can't actually do it unless you're willing to pay them a monthly fee. So it's just like, I don't want to pay the monthly fee, so I'm not going to be able to do that. Yay. So, yeah. That was one of the issues I had with it. And I will say, after the first week, I got a little email from Tinder saying, congratulations, you've had a busy week. You've been liked by 190, you've received 190 likes. I have no idea where these likes went or where they were. It did not show them anywhere on my feed or in my messages section or where it shows the likes. It didn't show any of that. It showed 25 plus likes that I could not access. So I don't know if it just only goes as high as 25 and then everything else is plus or what. Then it shows you the people you've matched with across the top next to that you don't have messages from. Okay, now here's the catch. The people that it shows across the top, those are the people that you've matched with that you haven't talked to. Down below that, they have all the people that you've matched with that you've talked to. Okay, so it's not just the people across the top, it's also the people below. And it's very, I don't think it's a very good system. Because, you know, I mean, it doesn't give you an idea of how many people you actually, you know, matched with. Unless you count across here, then go down, count across there. So, and then hopefully you don't get anyone twice. So, but yeah. So, anyway. And when it came to actually talking to people, it seems to work okay. They have it to where you can put in little emojis and GIFs, which I'm probably not pronouncing right, but anyway. So you can put in little cute little things, and when you talk to people, so it works well enough. Here's the thing. With Coffee Meets Bagel, they call it a dating app. With Bumble, they call it a dating, friendship, networking app. With Tinder, no one can agree what it actually is. I've heard people say Tinder is a hookup app. I've heard people say Tinder is a dating app. I've heard other people say, well, Tinder started out as a hookup app, but now it's a dating app, but some people still use it to hook up, and it's just like, okay, you'll need to make up your mind. But even the people that use it can't agree on what it is. Looking at the people that I got sent to me, I was sent people that on their profiles below, they would say, I'm just looking to hook up. If you're looking for something serious, swipe left. Everybody knows this is Tinder, and everybody knows Tinder's a hookup site. So, you know. Then you get somebody else that would say, I'm a good Christian man, I'm looking for my soulmate, I'm looking for my best friend. If you're just looking for, I'm looking for forever. If you're just looking for a hookup, swipe left. So, you know, it's like no one can agree. The only other thing I had an issue with is that there's not really many things to choose from when it comes to Tinder. Like, you can't just say, you know, you can't designate, you know, height or, you know, race or religion or anything like that. And you can just determine that you're a woman, you're looking for a man, or a man looking for a woman, or a woman looking for a woman. So I don't think the system works completely, because, you know, and I'm like, dang it, I missed it. 2 different occasions. I'm just swiping through. I'm bored. I had no real interest in this subject, which is a terrible subject to pick. One that I don't have interest in. You know, I was like, couldn't have picked something else. I should have picked like sleep apps. You know, apps that help you get a good night's sleep. Maybe that should be the next video. But anyway, couldn't pick that out. I picked these out, even though I'm not really interested in dating apps. I have no, I don't know, I wouldn't say I have no desire to date. I just think that my social interactions have, let's put it like this, Chernobyl has a better chance of seeing a whole, is livelier than my social interaction. So someplace like Chernobyl, or, you know, the Dead Sea, those are more livelier places than my social life. And even when I am seeing someone, they're still doing better than me, because I pick out the worst people. No offense to any of them that are watching. And it's a possibility. There was one that was a little tiny bit of a stalker there for a while. But anyway, that doesn't matter. Actually, there were 2 that were a tiny bit of a stalker there for a while, but that's beyond the point. But anyway, so I don't really have a lot of interest in dating. I have more interest in, like, actually being able to sleep through the night. God, I haven't done that in forever. Last time was when I was a teenager. Damn lucky kids. Anyway, so random. But yeah, so it wasn't a real good thing for me to choose to look into, but at the time I was like, this is something that's popular. It's something that everybody's using. It's becoming more and more, you know, mainstream, I guess I could say. So I was like, this is a good subject. So, I don't know. I guess it's one of those things where I became bored with it very quickly. I mean, it did not hold my interest at all. But anyway, so I'm swiping through, swipe, swipe, swipe. It's just like left, left, left. And then I'm like left, left. And I'm like, shit, was that a chick? And pardon the language. But yeah, no, so I'm sitting there going, and because I don't want to pay, and I'm not going to pay for a dating site, I can't use the back button to see if it was in fact a woman. So I'm like, well, dang it. Because that would have added a whole new kind of like thing there. It did look like a woman, but it does not mean it was a woman. That's a whole different subject. Anyway, but it happened a second time. Swiping, 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 then woman. I'm like, damn it. Swiped. Didn't realize it. Just swiped right through it. Couldn't go back. And the reason I say I don't know if it was actually a woman's profile or if it was just someone with a picture of a woman is because the other issue with Tinder is that people don't always put pictures of themselves. Okay, the pictures I chose were artistic. Now, I did, after a week, put up pictures that were more realistic and less artistic. You know, I wasn't in a proper position to, you know, hide that double chin. Well, it's not as big as it used to be, but still. And, you know, I did have my head turned a certain way to make my face look thinner, you know. So anyway, but after a week, I did put on more realistic pictures. Actually, pictures that I took here for thumbnails. So, or for Instagram. I don't remember what they were for. But anyway, it was for one of those. So, a lot of these people, they don't take pictures of themselves. They'll take pictures of someone else. A woman, a kid, a dog, a wall. One guy actually took a picture of a light fixture. And it wasn't an overly pretty light fixture either. I will say this, the people that chose to take pictures of their pets, actually, those were the ones that had my most interest. And I was just like, very tempted to say like on those just because they had cute pets. So, bravo. Good job. So that's always a good thing. But pictures of walls and floors and light fixtures and, you know, like landscapes. Yes, landscapes are pretty, but you're on a dating site. What the hell, dude? I at least put up artistically, you know, fancy-fied, pretty-fied pictures. I mean, and they were of me. They weren't of a wall. So, this weather is crazy. But anyway, I say that so much. I didn't realize that until I started doing these videos. So, I didn't care for that, you know, and there was even some guys that actually mentioned it, you know, well, are you going to put on more pictures? You know, well, I guess I shouldn't comment. I've only got one, you know. I will give myself credit. I give myself a pat on the back for one thing. I only got blocked by one person, to my knowledge. And he was a real jerk, so I don't really feel bad about it. If anything, I was so excited because I was so bored. Got this message from a guy, you know, and he started out nice, and then he was like, you only have 2 pictures on your profile. I want to see like full body shots. I want to see what you really look like. And I'm like, well, maybe over the weekend I'll put some more on. And that was when, you know, the slightly rude but yet kind of seemed nice guy turned into a complete jag-off. I mean, seriously. Oh, that's not an excuse. You've got a cell phone. It's got a camera. You need to take some pictures and put them up now. Thank you, Jesus. I don't know what I've done to deserve this, but thank you, Jesus. That's how bored I was, that I was thankful for that. Because I started laughing hysterically. And I meant to go someplace else on the way here. Oh, screw it. Anyway, so, I know, all over the place. But, so I was just like, finally, something of interest happens. And, being the person that lacks filter that I do, my first instinct was probably not the one I should have gone with. If I'm honest, I really probably need a nanny. I mean, I probably need, well, not my one best friend. My one best friend, whose name is Tabby, I probably shouldn't ask her questions like about if it's okay to put this, because her hobby is seeing how many Facebook pages she can get blocked from. So, yeah. And she's always so proud of herself when she gets blocked on those. You know, especially the paranormal sites. She does such a good job. They block her like that. My other friend, though, I could probably ask her. She would probably be the one to say, now, that doesn't sound nice. You shouldn't say that. So, she's such a nice person. But left to my own devices, which is dangerous, guys. It's dangerous. Don't leave me to my own devices. Do not leave me unsupervised. Never ends well. Oh, God. Anyway, I was left unsupervised at home one night, and I was just like, screw it. I'm bored. Let's see how quick I can piss him off. Apparently, it only took one response. And I'm amazed because normally it takes me more than one response to piss somebody off to the point that they block me on something. So either I'm getting better or worse at this. I don't know if it'd be considered better or worse. I don't know. Anyway, my response to him was basically, bite me, LOL. I do what I want. You don't like it? I don't care. And apparently that upset him. I will say this about the people that I talked to. They all, with the exception of that one, seemed very nice. He was the only rude one I had. And some of them seemed a little bit too nice. To the point where it's like, I kind of think that they were probably catfish. And it's sad that has become such a routine thing. But it has. So, but I do think a large portion of them were catfishing profiles, so I'm not overly upset about it. Well, I'm not upset about it at all, honestly. The only other thing about the site that I really didn't like was the distance thing. It's supposed to give you people in your area, and yet I was getting people from 6,000, 7,000 miles away, hundreds of miles away. I live down by Houston. It was giving me people of way up north in different countries, up in farther north in Texas, different states, and yes, I understand some of these people, they're like pilots or truck drivers, so they're all over the place, but they're not permanently in my area, so I don't think they should come up on my area. Just because they are currently in my area, I don't think that counts. I mean, and there was one guy that he wasn't even in my area yet. He was just planning to be in my area for 2 days, and he wanted to hook up. And I was like, no, thank you. I'm going to pass. Stranger that I've never met and never even talked to personally. There's also an abundance of men who, and I'm sure it's the women too, they put the same thing in their profile. In a serious relationship, but open relationship. So, we're good with this. Okay. I don't know many women that really are okay with the idea of their man going out and messing around with somebody else. Oh, they may tell you they are, but they're lying. And if they actually came face to face with the woman that they knew you were messing around with, they would scratch her eyes out. And then you'd probably end up with something that you were very attached to chopped off. So I'm just, I'm putting that out there. Just be cautious. Also, for the ladies and the men, because this can happen to men too, you think you're messing around with somebody and they're in an open relationship, you believe them. Don't just believe them. Don't. If they're in an open relationship, ask to talk to their wife or spouse, significant other, whatever. Ask to talk to them. Well, if you're in an open relationship, then your spouse won't mind talking to me and confirming that you're in an open relationship. If they're happy as a clam to introduce you to their spouse, there's a very good chance that the spouse will want to have sex with you too. However, if they say, oh, she or he is not real comfortable with that, okay, very good chance they're lying out their ass, okay? And that never ends well. It ends with, like, screaming, restraining orders, trips to the ER, a whole host of other problems that you don't want to have to deal with. So, yeah, just, if you're smart, stay away from the ones that say in a serious but open relationship, looking for a friend. No, you're not looking for a friend. You're looking for a piece of butt. Piece of ass. There's no way to say that without cussing. It just doesn't sound right. So yeah. There's, you have to take these things with a grain of salt, and, some things are never a good idea no matter what. The other thing I have noticed about the sites, just looking at them, people seem way too happy to put pictures of their children on these sites. I'm sorry. You're putting pictures of children on your site, on these sites, and you don't know who the people are that are looking at them. You're hoping and assuming that they're good, decent people that you might want to date, but you don't know. And you're putting pictures of them in, baseball uniforms, and, you've got your general area of where you're from. This is a horrible idea. I mean, it's horrible. You do not want to put pictures of your children on these sites, people. Okay, you want to put on there that you have kids? Okay, put on there that you have kids. Do not put, I've got a teenage boy, I've got a teenage girl. Just put, I got 2 kids. Okay, you don't have to put on age. If you start dating someone and, it gets serious, well, then inform them about your kids. Okay? They don't need to know about them, in the posts. That's not safe for anybody. It's just not smart either. It really, really isn't. It's just, don't do it. It's not smart. So, the other thing is, what was the other thing? There was something else. I'm pretty sure there was. But, this is what it was. Just handing out your cell phone number to strangers. And, okay, I understand men tend to not really think that a woman is a threat. They see a picture, oh, she's cute, she looks so nice. Okay, she might look nice, she might be cute, but that does not mean that she is nice. Okay, you gotta keep that in mind. Really, you have to keep that in mind. So, someone might not look like a threat in a post, but that's just a post. You can lie in these posts. You can lie in these profiles. You need to be a little bit more safe. You need to be a little bit smarter about these things. Another thing is, if you were just determined to use these sites, remember that catfish are real. They are out there. They've made, the guy that came out with the first story about catfish, he has made his living dealing with this. TV show, documentaries. I mean, they're real. They're out there. Okay? You have to keep that in mind. Now, as a precautionary tale, I did notice that a lot of the people that were coming up on my feed had some sort of military connection. Which, yeah, okay, I'm in Texas, I'm in South Texas. There are a couple of different, military installations relatively close to me. So, Fort Hood is not that far away from Houston. So, it is a potential possibility that they are military. But, here's where the but comes in. One of the favorite scams that they have going around is people using military men's photographs. I think it's terrible. These are the people that are going overseas and risking their lives, and you're going to steal their photos and use them to scam people. It's terrible, but it happens way too frequently. Now, Google has this wonderful, it's a wonderful thing. I've played with it a lot. It is a Google image search, and basically what it is you go into Google image search, and it's basically just like a search bar on regular Google, but it has a picture of a camera in the little corner. Okay, you click on the camera and you can upload an image into the Google image search, and then it will search throughout all the images on Google and look for one that is remotely close to it or like it. Okay? And a lot of times it finds the exact image. If that's the case, all you have to do is click on that image and find out where it comes from. I've done this on a lot of different ones, and here's what I have had come up a lot, especially on the military ones. They will take you to this site where people post pictures and stories about people that have scammed them. Okay. Military photos are basically the majority of the photos that the scammers on these sites use. Okay. I guess it's easier to use a military picture of a military personnel because they can say, well, I'm overseas, could you help me, you know, so on and so forth. I would hope that none of the men overseas would actually be doing this. But, you know, anything's possible, you know. But don't just fall for that. If you think someone sounds too good to be true, they are. I mean, let's just be honest. If someone sounds too good to be true, they more than likely are. You need to be cautious. You need to, you know, check into it a little bit more. Be smart. Don't be stupid. You know, I mean, seriously, don't be stupid. So, yeah, just, you know, use common sense. You're not invincible. You're not immortal. Freaks and weirdos are everywhere. You need to keep that in mind. Everybody needs to use caution. Don't just, you know, say, oh, they talk to me so pretty and they treat me so good online and I just can't wait to meet them and I just can't wait to marry them, and next thing you know, you've got a serial killer who wants to, you know, make you into a skin suit. And I should probably stop watching Silence of the Lambs. And yet, my first inclination is to start saying some of the lines from it. Puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again. Okay, I had to do that. It was necessary. I had to do that. I had to do it. I had to get it out. At least I didn't do the other one. So anyway, you can't really do that one in a car, you know. Anyway, so, but yeah, you know, just use some common sense. Don't be stupid. Don't rush into anything. If you do meet someone, which I have when I did the article on the online websites, excuse me, I did meet a couple of guys, but I met them in very public places. I don't know who that is honking. Crazy people. So I don't know. I met them in very public places. I didn't, you know, I wanted to go straight. Why am I going curved? Apparently because the road's all jacked up. Yay! Knew I should have taken the other turn on the Y. Anyway, so use common sense. Meet them in a public place. Make sure that, you know, you get there before them and that they leave before you, so that way, you know, there's more of a chance that they don't know what kind of car you drive. If they do see you when you leave, make sure that you know what kind of car they're driving, so that, and you keep an eye out, like when you're driving home, so you see if someone's following you or it's something, you know, possibility. Also, if possible, don't go directly home right after you meet them. Go like over to a friend's house. You know, even if it's just like, because you want to commiserate, it's like, girl, that was the worst time ever. Oh my God, it was so creepy. Okay, even if you just need to go do that, go do that. Don't go directly home. I don't know what's wrong with me. Anyway, so yeah, don't go directly home. Just, you know, go do something like that, because then, you know, if you are being followed, you're leading them to your friend's house. Make sure it's someone that you're not overly attached to, just in case. Well, she's my friend, but she's not like my friend, so if like she gets killed by a stalker, it's okay. I won't like really, really miss her. I'll only like a little miss her. So, just, you know, safety first. So, but yeah, do that, you know, be cautious, be smart. Don't be a dumbass is basically what I'm saying. I was just trying to say it nicer. Apparently, I'm not good at that. I'm not. But anyway, don't be stupid. So, yeah, be smart. You know, don't take everybody's word at whatever they say, that they're so sweet and they're such a nice person and I just feel so safe with them. Yeah, don't just believe everything anybody tells you. I mean, there are a lot of sicko freaks in this world, and there's a lot of whack jobs too, and you just don't want to go there. You know, you just don't. You don't want to go there. So, be safe if you're going to use the apps. Although, honestly, I mean, you know, I know a lot of people say they met their, you know, their soulmate on there. I have doubts. I have a lot of doubts. Many, many doubts. So, yeah. I don't know. For me, I'm going to leave the profile up until tomorrow night, and then I'm going to delete it completely and be done with it, because I am bored as hell with it. There was only like one guy that I was talking to that seemed nice. I'm pretty sure you're not a serial killer. Yay, you. I know, I'm not complimentary at all. My idea of complimentary is kind of, it's broken. My complimentary is broken. I don't know what's wrong with me, but anyway. So, that's about it. And on that note, as always, much love from Monty in a very curious place. Stay strange, guys. Bye.